So once again, we're on the whole it's the games that matter narrative point of view, and this is something that I've completely agreed with since I actually started gaming. When I was a kid and was presented with a choice between a Nintendo Entertainment System or a Sega Master System, I chose the NES because it had the games I wanted to play. Now, in this day and age, most people buy multiple consoles, but there is probably still a subset of people who will only be able to buy one console. And a lot of the time, they chose which console they wanted based on how the multi-platform games look on that particular console. You can look back at the Xbox 360 and see how well that console did based on the multi-platform games running and looking much better. Now, recently there was an interview with a gentleman who's created games like The Secret World and Dreamfall, and he was asked about the differences or advantages between Xbox Scorpio and the PlayStation 4 Pro, and his response was actually kind of atypical for this generation. And his name, Mr. Turnquist, he had this to say: "Well, the PS4 Pro is here and now. You can buy it and play some really amazing games on it. Scorpio's not arriving until the end of the year and will, according to some reports, be more powerful platform. But at the end of the day, it's the games that matter, and us gamers win regardless of which platform is better. We'll evaluate revisiting the game when Scorpio gets closer to release and we get our hands on a development kit. We'd love to do it, but it probably depends on sales numbers and market demand. In other words, buy the game. The more people play it, the more we'll be able to do with it in the future. We'll even consider new DLC." Now, my point to the response would be, where was this line of thinking the first few years of this generation? I mean, honestly, the Xbox One launched with a much more favorable lineup than the PS4, and yet the PS4 received more support as well, even back then. This would suggest that the narrative has changed, or it's just preference by video game developers at this point. It's hard to tell. The other point of contention for me personally is when he mentions market demand and sales numbers. Xbox Scorpio probably won't be the top selling Xbox. That'll always be the original Xbox One or maybe even the Xbox One S. So where does that leave Xbox Scorpio owners? Saying it all comes down to the games is like saying you'll get wet if you go out into the rain. It's expected. However, pretending like the Xbox One doesn't have games is a complete fallacy and a false narrative to boot. It makes developers look unprofessional when they say this, and it makes gamers look ignorant when they regurgitate it in forums and on YouTube videos. Let's take a look at the top 10 best-selling games in the US for the entirety of 2016 according to the NPD Group. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Battlefield 1, The Division, NBA 2K17, Madden NFL 17, Grand Theft Auto 5, Overwatch, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, FIFA 17, Final Fantasy 15. Not a single Xbox or PlayStation exclusive in the top 10 is very telling. And remember that the big-time exclusives released in 2016, including flagship titles such as Uncharted 4 and Gears of War 4. Other notable exclusives such as Forza Horizon 3, Ratchet & Clank, Quantum & Break, and The Last Guardian all were met with unsubstantial sales numbers as well. Now, if we go back another year and we take a look at the top 10 selling games of 2015 in the US, we see a similar story. Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Madden NFL 16, Fallout 4, Star Wars Battlefront, Grand Theft Auto 5, NBA 2K16, Minecraft, FIFA 16, Mortal Kombat X, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. As we can see, yet again, there's absolutely no PS4 or Xbox One exclusives listed here. I'm starting to see a trend, are you? And while it's more than obvious that multi-platform games would sell more than exclusives, I think the point is still proven that most gamers are more interested in getting the top multi-platform games, the games that garner the most media attention. I'm not saying exclusives don't matter, but when you look at the pretty amazing games lineup that the Xbox One had the first year on the market, and let's take a look at that: Dead Rising 3, Forza Motorsport 5, Killer Instinct, Rise Son of Rome, Zoo Tycoon, Max the Curse of Brotherhood, Crimson Dragon, Power Star Golf, Loco Cycle, Vital Within, and within that launch year they had some pretty amazing games as well, like Titanfall, Connect Sports Rivals, timed exclusives like Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare, Peggle 2. They also had new IP like Sunset Overdrive. They also came out with the amazing Forza Horizon 2, Halo the Master Chief Collection, Project Spark, and even more. It's clearly unfair to claim that the Xbox One has no games or didn't launch with the better games, both large and small. I'm not insinuating that all the games here are great, but my point is that if it were strictly exclusives that mattered, the Xbox One would be winning this generation. In fact, the Wii U would have fared much better if that were actually the case. Xbox Scorpio is going to be the console that all gamers want, all true gamers anyway. It'll be the best place to play all the multi-platform games, all the multiplayer games on the best network, and all the Xbox One exclusives at their absolute best. Make no mistake, exclusives still matter, but they're more like icing on a large multi-plat cake. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys rate, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.